at that point and maybe accept some questions and go off of that. Don't be shy. Yeah.
You entirely dropped the theme of fear of the bomb and sort of response to fear to consciousness related to the bomb. Do you think that figures in as strongly?
Oh, sure. Sure it does. I mean, it would take us 100 hours, and I don't know that Rick and I combined can explain all of the phenomena. Certainly what is a new phenomena. It's a new phenomena that we are the only people for the last 40 years in history who have had to deal with it, and our children have had to deal with it. Kids have nightmares. There is out there the likelihood that in an hour you could be dead. That's all. And for 40 years, or especially since they've developed the more sophisticated weapons and the carrying systems, all of us share throughout the entire world the understanding that for no particular reason that you can understand, either by accident or because Rana's in a bad mood tonight or whatever the hell's going on, or the Russians, are doing something, that you can be dead. Okay? And obviously that reality is there. It's here with every single person in this room. You don't have to talk about it ever. You don't have to talk to children about it. They all understand that there are weapons in this world which can destroy us all. And that, of course, happened after the explosion in '45 and has continued going. It's there. And I think, how is that related to the 60s? How is it related? I think it's obviously, it's there. It's present all the time. The understanding that I think people in the 60s felt and feel today, the insanity of it all. The insanity of it all. That people have not yet learned, after thousands of years of killing each other, that that's maybe a stupid thing to do. And when you watch, again, I'm older than you, and I said I probably know more about these things than most of you, and I watch Reagan on television. I could write you the script in 5 minutes. It's an old script. He got it from some old movie that he was probably in. It's the same speeches they've been giving for about 100 years. These are the terrible, bad guys. They are, and you list off all of these things. They're drug dealers, they're anti-Semitic, they're communists, they're totalitarian. All this whole list of things. It doesn't have much to do with reality. And we, of course, are the good guys, and they're the bad guys, and we're going to fight for God and freedom, and they're the evil, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, they wrote the same speech. They gave the speech. Go through the history books, the same speech. Both countries. The other side gives the same speech, too. And, at a certain point, you look back and you say, God, why? And you sit back. And I think Vietnam was something like that. People could not get swept into it. The establishment was a little bit surprised. The way it had always been is, okay, boys and girls, there's a war. Let's go. They're the bad guys. You're supposed to kill them. Come on, they're supposed to kill you. And we're fighting for God and country. And everybody is fighting for God and country. And at a certain point, to everybody's surprise, people say, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. How do we get involved in this? Well, we're not so sure we're on the right side. And in fact, although many of us get depressed about what's going on in Nicaragua today and the absolute lies that are coming out of the White House, in fact, we have a right to be very exhilarated. That today, despite years and years and years of lies on the part of the media and the president, still the American people, 60, 70% of the people are still not buying it. Now, certainly, if you think back to Vietnam in the beginning when they started this whole business, there were a handful of people. They do polls. 90% of the people think the United States should be in Vietnam. And it took years. Okay? And remember, no American kid has come back from Nicaragua yet in a body bag. And still 70% of the people are against the war. And that's why Reagan is not sending the American kids there, paying for the poor Nicaraguans to kill each other. Okay? Because and that's pretty impressive. And that, I think, is a good thing. So to get back, to answer your questions, it's there. It has been there since 1945. And I think, I think that is a fact. But people are looking when they say, look, this is what's normal. This is what's good. What you people have given us is a world where you can kill each other. We don't accept that as a normal value. We think that's pretty crazy and that's pretty stupid. Okay? Everything you tell us leads to the fact that we are spending billions of dollars on weaponry that can kill the whole world. We're beginning to challenge some of your assumptions. Don't tell us that if we go A, B, and C, and D, this is all right, because you've led us to some pretty stupid conclusions. And we're going to begin to challenge that whole assumption.
I have a comment on your question as well. I think that during one period, the early part of the 60s, there was a real movement that started around the bomb shelter thing and the whole civil defense movement that was gaining a little bit of steam. It was gaining a little bit of steam. And what I think distracted America and Americans from that quite quickly was the incursion into Vietnam. Because everybody, remember, the biggest